Setting goals is easy. Watch. Become Beyonce. Done. Why isn't this working already? Hi everyone, I'm Tanya Marie Figueres-Kreisinger, which explains why I go by Tanya MFK. And we are going to talk about why I didn't just become Beyonce right now, as well as some simple yet powerful ways to get you to actually follow through with your goals. Goals are more than arbitrary hopes. You'd say, I'd love to go to Paris someday. Well, guess what, honey? We got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But there is no someday. It doesn't exist. It took me becoming a widow to cancer at age 25 to stop focusing on what I thought I should be doing, wishing what I could be doing, and take the time to stop and actually take stock of what I really want in life and how I could get there. 10 years later, I've traveled to over 25 countries, remarried, had a son, have my own business, and travel full time. I am currently filming this lesson from Sweden. I could no longer wait for someday. I learned it may never come. But we don't need a life-altering experience to get to where we want to go. We just need to understand and follow some key elements that we were not taught in school. In this lesson, I'll review 7 steps to approach your goals, including specific action items that you can start doing today. You'll learn to create measurable goals, how to uncover your deepest motivation, why you need an oh shit plan for life's little detours, and the one thing we do to constantly sabotage our efforts and set ourselves back, as well as some powerful daily practices to keep us on track. I'll also have some templates and worksheets so you can do all of these steps and take action today. So let's jump in. Step 1 is identify your goals. This is a no-brainer, right? But before you roll your eyes, you would be surprised how many people give a bird's brain brief thought to something they want and then believe they've set a goal. We need to make it real by writing it down. I don't care if it's paper, computer, tattoos on the wall, but get those suckers written down. Then get specific. We cannot be vague. Vague goals equals vague results. Things like get better, more clients, more money, improve at, lose weight. What does it mean? More money? Is $1 enough? Lose weight? How much? More clients? 3 or 300? You need to have a clear aim, a specific goal. Otherwise, we'll have no idea if you're on your way, you're close, or what's going on. Next, set a deadline, and we need to give it a date. Lose 20 pounds by when? 5 years or next week? This again is what starts to make it real. This allows a plan to unfold. And then lastly, break them up. Let's use the weight as an example. You got specific, you said 30 pounds by December 17th this year. The truth is that goal probably feels really big and really far away right now. So we need to break it up. We need some wins right now. I can't wait until December to be excited, and you don't have to. I want you to take those goals and put them into smaller chunks. That same goal is 7 to 8 pounds every 90 days, which is 2.5 pounds every month, which is a half a pound or so every week, which daily is probably as simple as hitting your workouts and food intake goals. Using this method, I can see moment by moment if I'm on track. Also, I can celebrate every day hitting my goals. By the end of the week, celebrate that goal. By the end of that month, goal getter. 90 days, crushing it. Bring on the next 90 days because I'm amazing. And now you're basically just a celebrating party animal, which also means you're probably a lot more pleasant to hang out with. How much more motivated are you to keep going when you can see daily, weekly, and monthly progress? The other benefit here is to keep the goal from feeling so big and unattainable that we lose excitement. By doing this step, you are finding the small actions to take that will get you to where you're headed. Step 2, uncover your deepest motivation. He who has a why can bear almost any how. This powerful line is from Viktor Frankl's book, A Man's Search for Meaning, and it follows his experience in a concentration camp. Happiness is fleeting, and often we are searching outside of ourselves to try to make us whole. And it doesn't matter how organized your goals are if your heart's not really in them. If they lack passion, conviction, and a deep reason to truly commit, then they will also lack momentum and follow through. I use a simple process that is wonderful and annoying like a curious toddler. It's called the 7 levels of why. Now, you may have tried something like this before, but rarely are we asked to dig in this far. And I have found with clients that going 7 levels deep consistently brings us to the pinnacle of why we are really doing this. So it goes like this. I want a new BMW. Well, why is that important to you? Because it'll look better when I show up and meet clients. Why is that important to you? Well, if I look better, I'll feel better and be more confident. Why is that important to you? Well, if I'm more confident, I'll make more sales. Why is that important to you? If I make more sales, I'll have more money. And why is that important to you? Well, if I have more money, I won't have to work as much. Why is that important to you? If I don't work as much, I'll have more free time. And why is that important to you? I can spend more time with my family and enjoy life. So getting a new BMW is really about spending more time with your family and enjoying life. Now that is a compelling reason to make this happen. So I don't care if you agree with that goal or not. That's not the point or for anyone to dig into except that person. But in any case, it's important and powerful for us to really see what's underneath our goals. We may see that it goes much deeper than we thought. We may find that we're actually choosing a goal for someone else. What this practice will do is bring clarity and purpose. And that brings you to another step closer to accomplishing what you set out to do. Step 3, get real. Anticipate roadblocks and have a plan. It will not all go according as planned. Things will come in and get messy. Back when I was 13 and knew everything about life, a couple of friends and I were discussing a horrible mom we saw smacking her kid in the store. We were saying how awful it was and how we would never do that. A teacher overheard us and said something to me that I have never forgotten. He asked, well, what will you do instead? And none of us had an answer. He said, you can say all you want about what you won't do, but if you don't have a plan to do something differently, then when that time comes, you will revert back to the only thing you know. And this truth has brought me through so much in life. Look at your goals. Where can things go wrong? What are the places, people, situations that can throw you off your goals? Let's use the weight as an example. It could be eating out, having junk food nearby, parties, wine, unhealthy but free catered food at the office, that one friend you always eat French fries with. What are you going to do to get around the hazards and the roadblocks? If you don't have a plan ahead of time, then you're going to revert back to the only thing you know. And that's what you've done in the past, which is also how you got here. Step 4, stop giving permission and commit already. At this point, we've shifted our mindset, we've refined our goals, we've discovered the depths of our motivation. Now it's time to say yes. It's time to unabashedly commit. We need to mean it so much that it's basically already happened. There's no question, no what ifs, no yeah buts. Are you willing to commit completely to this? If you're still on the fence, ask yourself, why am I unable to fully commit at this time? What specifically is preventing me from committing to this path? Am I holding on to limiting beliefs? Do I really believe I can do this? And how can I successfully work through this resistance? Go through that. Divorce the story of your limitation, and then you are ready to finally commit and say yes wholeheartedly. And now that you've said yes, we gotta talk about this mind game that we play with ourselves via permission. Stop keeping one foot out the door. Don't give yourself permission to do something different. When you get married, you don't say, I do, except when I get really mad at you or you're rude. For example, setting up cheat days. You are literally setting up a time to go off your plan. At least the word is correct, cheating. And is that what you want? Who are you cheating? The only one that loses is you, and no one is being tricked. Cheating does not teach new habits or reach goals. Cheating gets you nowhere. It's like saying, I'm going to make a total lifestyle change. I want it to be different. I need to make new decisions, but I will completely fall back into old habits as a reward for myself and for fun. I'll also hear, I'm totally going off sugar except for the holidays and that wedding I'm going to. You are giving yourself permission to fall. You are giving yourself permission to not succeed. Michael Jordan said, if you quit once, it becomes a habit. And guess what happens if you succeed once? Isn't that the habit you want? Take your happiness seriously. Don't give yourself permission to do things you know are going to screw it up. Now, you might feel a little bit put off by that. I hear people say, hey, but isn't there balance in all things? Right. Is that your goal? Is it balance? Or is it something specific? We're talking about your goal, what you say you want. Is it better to master something in full force first, then see what you're capable of? Go for a whole year off sugar, then eat the cake, then see how it is. Instead of, I've been good all week, I can have a cookie. Why would you play small? Giving 100% is way easier than 98%. Don't let that 2% window take you down. Commit fully. There is a great quote that says, nothing happens until after the ships are burned. And it's based on an old story about a commander who ordered his ships to be burned before he and his troops went to battle. This was a point of no return. You either win the battle or you lose your life. Now, while your goals might not be as dramatic as actual life survival, it is still the mindset of giving it your all and fully committing. This is going to upgrade your psychology to make this time the time you really do this. Step 5, setting up your environment. I'm going to share a secret with you. Willpower doesn't work. Willpower is when you haven't really committed yet. It's when you haven't decided what you want, and so you use your willpower muscle to keep you from what you actually want, which is, that cookie. You want to know what's stronger than willpower? Your environment. My grandma used to always say, if you hang out in a barbershop long enough, you're eventually gonna get your hair cut. We need to create positive, goal-enhancing environments where the behavior we want becomes automatic. We do this with 2 steps. Remove the items that conflict with your decisions and goals. Got a house full of junk food? Get rid of it. You think the other people in your house need to eat it? Fine. Put it in a nice box with a lid and everyone can have it in their rooms. You know something will distract you? Move it or move yourself. 2, set up the things you will need each day the night before. Your workout clothes, car keys, water bottle, breakfast, whatever it is. There was a study that showed people who had a string of floss already out for the next morning were 60% more likely to floss than those that didn't have it all out already. And you might think, geez, just getting that little string out is not such a big task. But it's about taking the barriers away. It's about leaving yourself little to no room to make other decisions and choices. I put my water in the tea kettle, have my morning drink pre-mixed, my vitamins, my workout clothes, post-shower clothes, got it all done the night before. Make sure you have the things you need to push towards your goal success. Set yourself up to win instead of relying on this unpredictable willpower muscle. Step 6, function from a peak state every day. I'm sure by now you've heard all the morning routines of the successful CEO. The mistakes we make is confusing the process with the result. We hear that they take cold showers or eat 30 grams of protein, meditate, eat a frog, whatever it is. Then we go, okay, I need that. I haven't been doing that. That's what I'm missing. I'll take those 10 things and that will be the magic bullet. But the process is only 10% of the results. The things they do don't actually matter. It's the platform and the situation, the environment that those practices create for them to function from their best place. So before you go searching for this magic morning pill that will transform your life and business, first acknowledge that when you feel gathered up, when you are in your best mindset, you do your best adulting and your best CEOing. Then list the things that make your ideal morning and assign a time frame to them. Meditation, 5 minutes. Tea, 4 minutes. Book, 20 minutes. Listen to music, yoga, walk outside, whatever it is. And add up those times, and that becomes your morning routine. If you see it's an hour long, and right now you've been waking up at 6 a.m. to jump into action, then it looks like your morning routine starts at 5 a.m. And no, there is no magic number. If your routine's 30 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever gets you in the right mindset and peak state, then it's perfect. Don't confuse the process with the results. When you are functioning from your best place, you will do your best work. You will crush the hardest goals. Too many of us are waking up into survival mode, giving our brains and bodies input from the second we wake up. And more times than not, we're jumping into someone else's agenda for us. So whether that's the kids, the boss, or anything else, we need to choose items that are grounding for you. Things that feel good, that invigorate, that bring creativity and awareness, and support us as a whole mind, body, and spirit. Now, waking up early, I know that freaks people out, but you tell me, what are your goals worth? And be honest with yourself. Are you really feeling so refreshed with that extra few minutes of rest? A routine like this has changed my life and has the power to do the same for yours. Can your extra 20 minutes compete with that? And now, to keep that great peak state morning routine, it needs to start with an effective evening routine. Every night, you need to close out your day. Take stock of what you've done and what's on your list. See what your day ahead looks like. Move and adjust items as necessary. Then try my absolute favorite practice called the 3 wins. It's really easy yet crazy effective. 1, write your 3 wins for the day. They can be related to anything. This allows you to focus on your accomplishments and end the day on a positive note. Most of us mompreneurs focus on the gaps left in our list instead of the gains. Looking at our wins allows us to focus on the progress and fuels our motivation. 2, choose what our 3 wins will be tomorrow. I don't care how long your to-do list is. There are 3 things that you know will feel so good when you get them done the next day. Write them down. And what I like about this is it tricks me into choosing my priorities. If I was asked to choose a priority, I might have a hard time. But when I ask what's going to feel good to win, I can easily choose this. It also gives you a clear path for the next day. After you've done this, have a bedtime. We're grown-ups. We can calculate for our kids the proper amount of sleep. Then why aren't we doing the same for us? With your new wake-up time and your peak state morning routine in hand, count backwards how many hours of sleep you want. I like to get up at 5. If I wake up at 5 a.m. and I want to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep, I can count 7 to 8 hours backwards, and it looks like I need to get my butt to bed between 9 and 10 p.m. I used to resist this thinking, saying, oh, but I can get so much done late at night. And then I would wake up in the morning into survival mode, rolling into putting out fires and just getting through it. I don't want to live a just get through it life. My morning routine gives me time to tend to myself, gather myself up, and focus on my own mental state and goals. Functioning from this peak feeling, I am 10 times more effective at handling anything else. And let's be honest, you are more likely to have interruptions, distractions, and things like that at 9 p.m. than you'll ever have at 5 a.m. Whatever you choose and whatever time you wake up, make sure you are setting yourself up to function from a peak state every single day. Step 7, track, measure, and build in accountability. That which is measured can be improved. Darren Hardy, author of The Compound Effect, says, your biggest challenge isn't that you've intentionally been making bad choices. Hell, that would be easy to fix. Your biggest challenge is that you've been sleepwalking through your choices, and half the time you're not even aware you're making them. Tracking our goal progress makes us aware of what's going on, and it's simple to do. It works because it brings us moment-to-moment awareness of the actions that we're taking in the areas of life that we want to improve. In flight, a plane is pulled every which way, and even though the course is set, there are elements pulling it off its path. They must be constantly course correcting during the flight to keep headed towards the destination. Even a 1% error can end with the plane 500 miles from where it was intended to land. Continually checking in keeps you on the right path and avoids bigger problems later on. You'll be surprised at behavior patterns that you'll find and observe while doing this. And the more aware you are, the quicker you can course correct. And the truth is, men lie, women lie, but numbers don't lie. You can think you did something well all week, but tracking it will show you the reality of your actions in black and white. You cannot manage or improve something until you measure it. And you can't make the most of who you are, your talents, your resources, and capabilities until you're aware and accountable for your actions. I use a daily tracker that I'll share with you to track all of my goals. I'm not crazy organized because I'm crazy organized. I'm crazy organized because I know better than to think I can keep it all in my head. So my tracker helps me manage the parts of my morning routine and daily things that I want to do, like my 3 wins practice, my vitamins, having a moment of gratitude, saying I love you, and getting ready for the next day. You can personalize the tracker to whatever works for you. And whether you use my worksheet or something else, you need more than your memory to track this. Make it real and create a place to capture your performance. This is your first step to self-accountability, and it's so important to build it into your goal-setting process. And it's even better if we can partner with someone to hold us accountable. It works because we perform better under observation, whether it's an ego thing or what, but for some reason, we'll perform better in front of others rather than ourselves. And when we're accountable to someone, we can get honest feedback. If you have someone holding you accountable, they don't benefit from giving you false praise. They want to see you succeed, and they will tell you when you're slipping up. Another great reason is your excuses won't work. As much as we can be hard on ourselves, we can just as easily make excuses. And it's easy to believe them because we made them. But when you have someone holding you accountable, your lame excuses won't work and you'll be called on them. It's also helpful to have someone that can call you on the stories you're telling yourself. It's always easier to see the patterns when we are looking from the outside. When eyes are on you, they can see easier than you can when you're telling yourself untrue stories like, no one would want to listen to me. Why would they want to pay me? Many times, we're not aware of these stories that we're telling ourselves. And awareness is the only way to get rid of them and to replace them with the ones that are true. It also forces us to follow through on our commitments. We're more likely to follow through on something when someone else is involved. You don't feel like going to the gym, but that means leaving Joe on his own. And then he's expecting you. Or maybe Joe's just going to give you a hard time and it might be easier to go than to listen to his guilt trip, right? Accountability creates firm deadlines for important tasks. When others are involved, it forces you to figure out details. If it was just you going to the store, you can be vague and say, I'll go this afternoon. But when Cindy's going with you, she'll need an exact time. Having this key component also keeps you grounded in reality. When you're making something a much bigger deal than it is and being unrealistic with your goals, having someone keeping your mind straight and sensible is key. With accountability in place, you can learn from the success and failures of others. And working with an accountability partner or group allows you to learn from their past highs and lows. Lastly, accountability prevents those little problems from becoming big ones, and it's easier for someone else to see if you're walking a slippery slope. It helps having someone that can call you on your steps or habits that may lead you to sabotaging your success. So get out there and find a success buddy. There are few things as powerful as two people locked arm in arm marching towards the same goal. So up your chances of success and get someone who will keep you accountable as you walk into your new habit, and you can return the favor. And let's be honest, if change were easy, everyone would be doing it, and the word extraordinary wouldn't hold much meaning. But ordinary is easy, and extraordinary is what will bring us to our best self and enable us to live a life by design. So there it is, the 7 steps to make your goals stick and change your life. Identify your goals, find your deepest level of motivation, meaning your why, anticipate roadblocks and failures, and have a backup plan. Commit and stop giving permissions, set your environment to win, function from a peak state every day, and track, measure, and build in accountability. The one skill most responsible for the abundance in my life is learning how to effectively set and achieve goals. And believe me, it's a skill. It's not that someone is better or luckier. They've just practiced more. We have to keep at this to get good at it. Practice makes perfect. When you organize and focus on a clearly defined target and map out your path, something almost magical happens. So map out your visions, have a clear path and system. I have a complete bundle of 6 templates and worksheets to get you on your way, completely free. All I ask is that you share your wins with me and let me know on Instagram or Facebook at TanyaMFK. You'll get the goals and motivation, your why sheet, a full 2019 daily goal tracker, a commitment declaration, the 3 wins practice guide, environment checklist, and a peak state planner. Remember, the person who has a clear, compelling, and white-hot burning why will always defeat even the best of the best at doing the how. Thanks so much for spending this time with me, and let me know what you think in your comments. If you enjoyed this, please follow me at TanyaMFK on Facebook and Instagram, and click that subscribe button on my YouTube channel. You can also find me at buildabiz.net. Have a wonderfully successful journey. Take care.